Boom! I hit record.
Yeah.
I've hit record, and now I need to find
Oh
out
my
what
god,
week
I have to
of
send you that other video, don't I? That's tough.
Okay, it is week 43 of Album Club. Welcome, everybody. Week 43 of Album Club. This week, we listened to I Became Birds by Home Is Where for our 2021 albums category. And this was my selection, so I'm going to get us started. I don't know if anybody looked at the archives, but I put my score in as soon as I chose this. This is a 10 for me. This is a big fat 10. It's my 20th favorite album of all time. It is
20 albums you'd give it a 10 to?
I have more than 20 albums I'd give it 10 to.
That is
That's-
absurd.
That's actually kind of crazy.
10s are just like
Like that's disrespecting what a 10 means.
It's not though.
A 10 does not mean much to you, I guess.
No, a 10 means a lot to me. It means that I like love every single second.
Dewey, when you
of it.
called me a 10, I thought you cared. But apparently 10s are nothing to you.
10s are things that deeply move me and I care about a lot. And there's like 30 something albums that I deeply like love and feel very connected to. And this is
He's been
my
touched
20th.
with his sensitive side.
Yeah, I would say so. That's a weird conclusion to draw, but yeah, I guess. Anyway, I think this is just an incredibly well-made and beautiful album. It is very concise and cohesive, which is something I really like about it. But I think it's very interesting, like that it is so cohesive without feeling even a tiny bit repetitive. Each song feels so different and so unique, despite it all feeling very cohesive and like it should be one thing and flows very well. I really like how the band drew inspirations but made something like very clearly entirely their own. I think that the vocal performance is just so incredible. It is so raw and so powerful. And I also think it's a lot more like accessible in a way than a lot of emo vocalists, because it's not as whiny as a lot of emo and Midwest emo vocalists. It's just kind of raw and powerful. Definitely emo, super emo, because it's just very emotional. I love screaming. I listen to a lot of metal and metalcore, so screaming does not bother me in the slightest. So when there is screaming on this project, I'm a big fan. The lyrics are fucking incredible. They're so vivid and so poetic, and they just really paint a picture in your head. And they're also pretty, like, funny at times. Like, look at all the dogs, followed by just fucking screaming. I want to pet all the puppies I see. And then screaming. It's just, that's funny. Cops are flammable. That's a funny line. And it's also just, like, hype. The instrumentals, super dynamic and complex. And there's a lot of shit going on in it. And most of all, like, every song is, well, not every song, I would say the bookends are not super hype, but they are still really good. But the songs in the middle, just so much energy, so hype. Generally, they build up to like a really grand moment of like just energy and noise, and I love it. I love everything about this album, so yeah, it gets a 10 for me. And now we will move on to the Swoggles.
Wait, you say Swoggle is next?
Yes, you're next.
Sorry, I'm walking right now. I was in a different conversation.
It's
But
okay.
I was listening to you, and I thought you had a lot of great things to say. I agree with a lot of it. This album is amazing. I really like how you stressed the cohesive nature of every single song. You know, all of it's very different, but holy shit, it works together, and it all stays within that, like, you know, that like Midwesty, like, you know, kind of emo. You showed me this album a long time ago, actually, and I really enjoyed it then. And I feel like I really needed to do another deep dive that I did this past week. So that was a lot of fun. Hold on, let's go over to the notes. Come on. Here they are. I really like the instrument choices overall. There's like some horns and some of the, like, the first track. I was like, damn, that's a cool decision that they're making here, right?
The harmonica.
And yes, that's so, dude, it's so good. I
So
love
good.
it. Oh my god, it works so good. There was some like really good progression in a couple of the songs. You know, I thought that was great. You know, yeah, everyone knows that we love our subtle progressions here at Stewie
Love 'em.
Incorporated. So, what else is there to say? Oh, you know the song where it's like about puppies and then he starts screaming?
Yeah.
I thought that song was incredible, but like incredible in the way that like old men say that things are incredible. You know, where it's like, sorry, the bus. It's like, you know, it's not like really. It's just incredible. You know, it's not really even a good thing. It's academic. You feel?
Okay, yeah, I finally think I get what you're saying.
It's like when you show like there's something happens, you know, and then they're just like the old man's like, oh, that's incredible. Like, wow, incredible. You know what I mean. I think we all get it here. That's all I really have to say about this album. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I give it 9.3 fuck Darrens out of 10 fuck Darrens. Okay.
9.3. All right. Wow, I became Birds off to a hot start. Let's see who ruins it. Cam, you're up.
Okay. Yeah, this album I thought was mediocre at best and very abrasive at worst. It was, I don't know, I didn't really find much of it enjoyable to listen to. I thought the vocals were pretty garbo, and I thought the lyrics, I mean, I couldn't really understand them, but those and the titles, I feel like were all very like pointless and meaningless. That being said, I feel like the instrumentals like weren't terrible, but it was like I was usually just annoyed whenever there were vocals in this. And I appreciated how short it was, so I will give this like a 4.
All right, Cam went and ruined it. Thank you, Cam. I will say you
We hate Cam
definitely you definitely weren't paying attention to the lyrics if you think they were meaningless. They were like
Well, I
super
couldn't
poetic.
understand them at all.
That's a fair judgment for some of it.
Yeah, I do think that some of the shit is hard to understand, but like I've listened to this album a bunch, so you know I have slowly picked it apart.
Yeah.
But also there's a Spotify has a new option where you can like have the lyrics pop up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that. I've been doing that for album clubs, which is fun.
Probably not gonna do that.
That's okay. I understand.
Yeah,
I just like to go that, you know, extra mile.
I get all of your other criticisms. Like it's all very like subjective, but lyrics. That's just the lyrics are fucking awesome. I'd die on that hill. That's a hill I'll die
I mean,
on.
specifically in like Sewn Together, where they're talking about petting dogs, everything in there felt very random. I don't know if that like, I don't know, because the wanting to pet every dog, I think, is the only line I picked up. But
Yeah, that one I definitely get not being able to understand the lyrics as the middle is just harsh screaming. So the only lyric I got in that section without having to look it up was mass seppuku food fight, which I think is very fun.
and that feels very random.
It's got like a meaning to it. It's all got a meaning to it. It does. Look them up. Read the lyrics. And then
I'm not gonna look it up. I'm just gonna not believe you.
Okay. Thank you, Cam.
Cam is a doubter.
On to Simon. Pet the doubters.
I really don't know what I think about this album. I've had a lot of thoughts on it. I think the singing is sometimes really good, but sometimes really grating. Because it sounds like someone doing a Jeff Mangum impression from Neutral Milk Hotel, but like doing emo with it, but they're also just a worse singer than him. But then sometimes the vocals are amazing. I think the instrumentals throughout are just really good. I think they always fit the song. Lyrics, sometimes I kind of have a problem with it because they have some like brilliant lines, but it really bothers me when people just only speak in metaphors.
Mhm.
I don't know. It makes it harder for me to connect with the lyrics. But I do think this is a good album. I'm gonna give it a 7.6.
7.6. Thank you, Simon. Yeah, those are good points. I definitely could see the Neutral Milk Hotel comparison, but just kind of worse. I see that.
Yeah, no, I see that too.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a more grating, harsh sound with like a similar style.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I understand how you could be sick of that though, or like just would rather listen to Neutral Milk Hotel.
Sometimes it works so well, and then sometimes it just gets under my skin.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember the first time we listened to it, you were saying that like you weren't crazy about long distance conjoined twins, and I feel like that is one where it makes sense.
That
where
one's
you just-
actually grown on me so much, and I think that's top 2 on the album.
I also think it's top 2 on the album, but that's
Also,
definitely one where...
a recording of them playing it live really changed my opinion of that song.
Oh yeah, dude, and then the crowd gets so hype.
So hype. I would see them
so
live.
hype, dude. Oh, all right. Well, let's move on to Ethan.
Also, the singer plays the harmonica.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I kind of enjoyed it. I'm not like super big into like the screaming stuff, but luckily that wasn't everything, so that kind of saved it for me. I love the harmonica. Harmonica really rocked. Don't hear enough harmonicas in songs these days, and there was a lot of harmonica in this, and I loved it. My first listen through, I didn't really like. Actually, no, my first listen through, I kind of wasn't paying attention because I was just in the car with you guys. The second listen through, I didn't enjoy it as much, and then the last listen through I did kind of raised it up a bunch for me. Overall, I've very mixed on it, but it's got a bunch of good parts, so I'm gonna go with a 5.9.
5 point. Thank you, Ethan. On to Justin.
I'm with Cam, which is, I don't know. I do completely agree that the lyrics are just really random. It's all over the place, and like Simon said, filled with metaphors. It's hard to follow, and I'd argue it doesn't paint a picture because it uses metaphors so strongly. Like, so there are some great one-liners in here, and some good lines that I actually enjoy. But again, everything is so random; it's hard to come off cohesive. Like, I don't know specifically which song. I have to pull up the lyrics again, but you can really look at verse to verse to verse to verse, and there's like back-to-back metaphors, each about a different thing, and it's just hard to like process or get immersed when all you're trying to do when you're listening to the lyrics is figure out what the hell they're trying to say. And not only can you not know what they're literally trying to say, you cannot hear what they're saying either because they're just screaming, which makes it really hard to try and like process what is going on from the vocalist. But other than that, I think it's fine from a band perspective. I don't think it's anything crazy. I did like harmonica, like Ethan said. That was kind of cool. The only thing that ever stuck out to me through the whole album for what the band did was the guitar riff on assisted harakiri. Surprisingly, I wasn't as graded by this vocalist as I was for we just got back from whatever. I forgot what the rest of that goes. Yeah.
Just got back from the discomfort. We're all right.
We're all right. Yeah.
And I think that's because
Oh yeah, they
they're
just have a better voice.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
got back from the
I agree.
discomfort. Super whiny, which I'm here for. But that's just like the most inaccessible sound for emo. Is just like super nasally and whiny.
Yeah. But yeah, he didn't come off that great despite also being whiny. But I guess he does it better than
Justin is just
Very little
you gotta
advocate.
write a twit longer, brother.
dude. What am I say? I'm giving what I think.
You're getting no. Did you not read what I put in the chat? SMH. Pronouns,
did I
brother.
say
pronouns? You're getting
Shoot.
twit longered.
That's
I'm writing a
tough.
twit
I-
longer.
you know,
There's
it's like
gonna
I
be
think you
like
know a
3
guy,
people
you
left
know?
in this club.
I know, right?
Against the band.
only people that pay attention to this shit, me, Simon, and Ethan. I don't think Ethan's fucked up yet. Oh, and
What?
Reaping's
No,
in.
it's
Come on, dude.
Stewie.
Well,
Stewie,
Ryder,
this
were
ends up
you
just
in
being
here?
me and you.
When did I
Us
fuck
giving
up?
9s and 10s.
Well,
Yeah, wait,
Cam, you're just a
Cameron.
known bigot.
This is
Always
true,
paid attention,
but-
All
though.
right, let's get back on the topic. Justin, continue.
Yeah.
Remember pronouns.
Yeah, it's pronouns. Was I talking? Yeah. I will agree with what Stewie said that I like how short it is and that it doesn't come off repetitive at all. It does something different every single song. But where that not doing anything different borderlines on randomness, I have yet to decide. At least musically, I think it's still all sonically very similar, so I'm okay with it. But then lyrically, it just kind of loses me. So I actually give this a 3 as well.
3. What do you mean as well? Nobody else gave it 3.
Aaron,
Cam gave
Darren
it.
did.
Darren.
yeah. Well,
Um,
spoilers
okay.
to people who didn't see.
Thank you, Robot Justin. On to
Yep.
Reaping.
Alright, I have a lot to say about the album, so you're gonna hear me talking a lot more.
Let's go Reaping.
So, yeah, I got a lot of notes here. Got a lot to say. Alright, first of all, I usually don't gravitate to like Midwest emo. It's not my kind of vibe, you know. But I did enjoy the album. It was pretty nice to listen to. I like that the album's like short, but it's pretty nice to listen to and all that stuff. The instrumental's great. The harmonica part, oof, that was great. I did enjoy that. And the vocalist itself, I did enjoy their way of singing and stuff, but I felt like their singing was like, you know, a little bit raspy in some songs when I don't. Oh my god. Okay, writer. I love it. My last one of thought. Yeah, their voice was raspy a little bit in some songs when there was no need to be. But it's, you know, like kind of my thing. It's like my, you know, the way I like, yeah. But yeah, their singing is like, it's pretty good. I did enjoy it. And I like that every song, like, oh my god, let me say this properly. Okay, every song is like transition, like the end of the song and like the beginning of the next one. It's pretty like it's pretty good. I like all the transitions they make from track to track. I did enjoy that. What I got? Oh, the titles of the songs are really good. I did enjoy them. Has a lot of like science fiction kind of like, you know, like it has a lot of science fiction references and stuff like that. I like that one of them is basically L. Ron Hubbard was way cool, which he's like he's an American author of science fiction and fantasy stories, which is pretty cool. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Assisted Harakiri. I did like that title a lot. I put that like separately because I was like, this is actually pretty good. I don't know if people know what harakiri means, but basically it's like it's the suicide that samurais would do, like the disembowelment with the sword they would do as a alternative way to be like honorable and stuff. So basically the title is like assisted suicide in a way. So yeah, I did actually enjoy that. The lyrics were great. I loved the lyrics. Like that was really good for me. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say about the album. I really enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, I got an 8.
Nice. Thank you, Reaping. I do think it's funny that you started that with I don't usually like Midwest emo, and the only other Midwest emo album you give a 7. So I think you do actually just like Midwest emo, and you
mean-
don't realize it.
I think I do. I don't
You
know.
might.
I vibe with most of the music, but
Yeah.
but it's not something I would gravitate to listen to.
Right. Like you don't go
If
out
I
of your
look
way.
at- Yeah, it's not like I look it for it myself. That's what I'm.
I get what you're saying. All right. Thank you, Reaping. On to Ryder.
I really didn't like the last Midwest emo album that was recommended, but I think this one was significantly better because it was just far less screaming. And I agree that the vocalist is definitely less whiny than I think others. I thought there were some, decent songs on this one. It's still not a genre that I particularly enjoy, but it wasn't like it wasn't egregiously like difficult to finish the album, of course. I liked that it was a short album, and I think that even if I liked the album a lot, I think I would have still preferred that it's a short album. I think it does something specific by being a short album. I would honestly like to see that more out of music in general. Which is kind of funny because I also think that long albums have their place, and I think those are also important for different reasons. Um, I think it's difficult for me to pick up on the like the kind of nuance and like the intricacies of genres that I don't particularly enjoy. So it's hard for me to gauge kind of how good an album is outside of my like specified or outside of like my music taste as a whole. But that being said, I think this album was fine. It's not something that I'd probably listen to again. I there was one song where it was like kind of nice. I believe it was Sewn Together. It was nice, and I was like, okay, well, this is like it's not really doing anything for me, but at least it's not like aggressive. But I guess this album hasn't been aggressive thus far. And then the person just started screaming at me, and I didn't like that. But there was less screaming, which was enjoyable. I would give this a 4 out of 10 because I think it's all right.
All right, thank you, Ryder. I like your point about it being like short with a purpose, because that's I couldn't figure out a way to articulate that, but I feel the same way. It's like it feels like it's short, and that's how it should be, and that's how it was meant to be.
Oh, something about the notes I said about that. Talking about that specific thing you guys said, I did write that it was like the album's short, but it does have an impact. So yeah,
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
All right, cool. On to favorite tracks. Starting with me, it's no contest. Assisted Harakiri is just absolutely god tier. That song, the fucking guitar riff is just so crazy good and so hype, and lyrics so good, vocal delivery so good. Everything about it is just so hype, and I love noise, and this provides the noise. So yeah, it's a very easy favorite track for me. Swoggles.
Sorry, I missed the unmute button twice. For me, this is not as easy as you said. I disagree. I think it's kind of a close one. It's interesting because the first time I listened to this album, which was when you first showed it to me, whenever it fucking came out, the scientific classification of Stinger is my least favorite, but this time I kind of liked it. I don't know. But not quite my favorite. My favorite, let me see. Either long distance conjoined twins or assisted harakiri. Yeah.
Gotta pick one. What's your favorite?
Oh, you fucking bitch. All right, just so that you like me, I'll say assisted harakiri.
I mean, those are my top two. My thing is, I think that there's one
That's a
song.
good top two.
There's one song on this album that didn't get a bolded blue, but they all got blues, which means like I really, really like it.
Which one did? Oh, you're gonna tell us.
Yeah, that'll be my least favorite track.
Yeah, it's kind of like a thing we do on this
It's
show.
still a
You know?
10.
Yeah, it's still a 10. I think that, dude, it's
And it's a perfect score.
10s can mean different things to different people, and a 10 to me just means that like I love it with a passion. Like I passionately love this album, and it just like I will never get sick of listening to it start to finish.
I feel like an album could be better than a 10 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's better albums
I think-
than this one.
I think that I don't know. I guess for me specifically, I feel like 10 should be reserved for like the bare few that have just like meant the most or are like what you would consider to be perfect albums. I can love an album and I can give it an 8 and never get sick of it, but understand that that's still like an 8 for me.
Yeah, I'd say
Completely
like
agree.
I'd agree with like listen to it and never get sick of it. But I think the defining factor is I wouldn't change anything about the album. Would make it a 10.
I wouldn't change this song. I just think that this song doesn't. The song that I'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. We'll get to it. All right, Cam, favorite track.
Save that for the banter.
I think it's a pretty easy long distance conjoined twins.
All right, good pick, Simon.
Like, from my first listen to like 10 minutes ago, I would have said assisted Harakiri, but my last time talking, I convinced myself it's long distance conjoined twins.
Wow. I remember first listen, you didn't think much of that song. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm telling you, seeing them perform it live completely changed my opinion.
Huh. All right, thank you. On to Ethan.
Trying to switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna go with L. Ron Hubbard was way cool.
All right, on to Justin.
Assisted Harakiri.
All right, on to Reaping.
Assisted Harakiri, that hands down.
Yep. On to Ryder.
Assisted Harakiri.
Wow. That might be one of the most like
Unanimous best song.
4 of us. 4 out of 8. Never mind. Wait, 5? 5 out of 8. Yeah.
5 out of 8 is pretty good.
That's a lot. I mean, there's not that many songs to choose from. It's a pretty short album, so. Okay, least favorite tracks. On to me. And this is where I come in with L. Ron Hubbard was way cool was my least favorite track because I just think it is the least like super unique and like I don't know. I think it does the least, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't do a lot. Like it's still a great intro to the album. I think that like the kind of moody, low tempo, dark vibe and then the horns at the end, it's a great track and it still does a lot, but it just does less than the rest. On to Swoggles.
Skip me and come back.
What'd you say?
Skip me and then come back.
Oh, Skip Me and Come Back. I was like, what song? Skip Me and
Yeah,
Come
I
Back?
was scrolling the list, dude.
was
I couldn't
which one
figure
of
that
these
one
says
out.
Skip Me and Come Back. Okay, on to Cam.
This is a pretty easy sewn together from the membrane of the great sea cucumber. Because what even was that?
Dean's by saying he'll pet all the puppies.
Justin, you did it again. You suck. You're not an ally.
That sucks. Wow, I did say it.
You're a bad person.
Double
That's
band.
tough.
Double band. Second twit longer. All right, anyway, Simon, least favorite track.
Oh, Ron Hubbard was way cool.
All right, Ethan, least favorite track.
All I'm gonna say is I don't think you guys are giving enough respect to Elron. What a short opening track that really set the tone,
Agreed.
just to be changed completely by the rest of everything. But still, I still think it's pretty good.
No,
but anyways,
I
my least
don't
favorite.
disagree.
Yeah, it's
My least
good.
favorite is sewn together. From the
It's not
membrane of
one
the
I would
great-
ever save.
Oh, it's
Sorry, Ethan. I don't see a song called "Sewn Together." What's the rest of it?
From the membrane of the great. I have no idea what's happening.
Are you also waiting for it to scroll? So am I.
S2E red. Sewn together from the great membrane of the S2E. Sewn together from the membrane of the great S2E red sea cucumber.
The grass too.
Okay.
That is
Justin.
still the greatest emote on all of Twitch, by the way.
Dude, thank you. A lot of people.
It's so good.
People
Like
love
I
my
use
emotes,
it
man.
outside of Twitch or Discord. I just like use it in like texting someone. It's so good.
All right, Justin, least favorite track.
The Old Country.
Ooh. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Reaping least favorite track.
I'd say the All Country, since I don't know, it wasn't my kind of vibe with what we had earlier in the album. But it's a really nice way to end the album. It's not something I'd hate, you know. Just
Yeah.
a song I don't like too much. But
Yeah, I just think that they're very poetic, metaphor heavy lyrics, and just the vocals that are super folky just fit over that kind of song so well. And it just really
but
allows those to get highlighted.
I do like the harmonica though. The lyrics
yeah.
are good too, and that's all.
Yeah, it's all fair.
Definitely a vibe, but it's not my vibe. Is how I put it.
That's fair. That's fair. On the Ryder.
Sewn together from the membrane of the great sea cucumber.
All right. Thank you. A lot of people, a lot of not screaming fans in here. You guys are really lucky I didn't RNG my metalcore album that I like from this year. That would have been a lot of ones and twos. Okay. Now, closing thoughts, banter.
You gotta get Swoggles.
Swoggles is
Oh,
the least favorite
shit.
song share, I
Swoggles.
believe.
Least favorite track. Was
My least favorite was The Old Country.
I think
Which
it's
is
a great
interesting.
closer.
Me too.
I thought, no, it's a great closing, but I also like every other song. So,
Yeah.
what's up? You got a problem?
No, that's fair. I think it would probably be my second least favorite track. If I'm being honest, probably.
You have
I
the
don't know.
opening and the closing as your least favorites, brother.
They're both great too. It's just too
Yeah,
good.
that's wild. What a world we live in. All right, bye. Wait, no, not bye. That's the end of what I'm saying.
That's
We
just the
can
end of
move on.
that. So
Yeah.
closing thoughts and banter. Anybody got anything?
I think they have the potential to make such a good album one day, but I wish they'd change their lyrical style a little bit. If they had more of a structured narrative throughout, I think they could write something so good because they have such a talent for writing individual lyrics.
I would agree.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. There is kind of a thread throughout it that is just about like gender identity.
Yeah, but it's not super structured.
No, you're right. It is almost exclusively sang in metaphor, like you said.
Yeah.
So I definitely get that that critique of it. I don't know though. I think I like really oddly specific metaphors. Maybe that's why I'm a fan of the genre of emo, because that is
That is true.
That's just emo. It's just
I never thought it was
I remember Simon was saying like
That's
to write
best.
a modern baseball-esque song, you just pick something in your room that's very specific and say that's like some girl reminds you of this. And I was like, yup, that's
Yeah,
pretty
much.
pretty accurate, yeah.
Damn, that molding coffee cup over there. Really making me think of her.
Reminds me of her.
Damn, the guitar in my bed really reminds me of her.
You're naming things
Forged in
easily related.
1983. This guitar was made for me. The guitar really is that old.
All right. Any other closing thoughts, banter, etc.?
Yeah, what's your Chinese food order, Stu?
I'm definitely a General Tso's chicken kind of guy.
You would be.
I just really
Boring.
like chicken.
No, that's fair. I just ordered some sesame chicken.
Sesame. Oh yeah, sesame's better. I don't know why.
I
Sesame
know
chicken's
Ryder's
like
a
fried
crab
rice.
rangoon guy.
Yeah, dude, I always get a side order of however many crab rangoon I can get.
So good. I know Ethan's a fan.
Yeah, Ethan would be. That little saucy man.
I'm such a big fan.
I thought you were gonna say I'm such a bitch for some reason. Oh, I'm such a bitch.
Yeah, I'm such a bitch for rangoon.
I'm such a bitch for Rangoon.
Dude, one of my friends was driving me home from a frisbee tournament and we went to get Chinese food and they're allergic to crab, but they ate a crab rangoon. He's like, it's probably imitation crab. And I'm like, dude, biggest gamble I've ever seen.
That's
And it was
crazy gamble.
fine. Yeah,
That's
dude's a psycho.
nuts.
Love him to death.
All right, gang, we're gonna pick the next album. We are between.
I wonder if Swoggles' album will be picked.
Wow,
Right?
there's
Toss me in the
people to choose from.
rotation, bro.
You're
I
the
was gonna say,
rotation.
I will find
Oh,
your
you're at like
album.
the end of this rotation.
Oh, Ryder, are you back for good?
Yeah, practice is over. I just have, finals.
So,
There are
Welcome back,
5 people to choose from.
Thanks, dude.
Cam will be 1, Ethan will be 2, Reaping will be 3, Ryder 4, and Swoggles 5. I am randomly generating.
please don't pick Swoggles.
We got Ethan.
Okay, good. I do not have an album yet.
Let's go, Ethan.
What do you have for us, Ethan?
I got the Damian Lillard album.
No,
Can't
my
wait.
What?
Dame Dalla?
Dame Dollar. I have never listened to it. I haven't even
Is it
listened
just
to a
his
single
freestyle
song.
on Sway on repeat? I'll listen to that.
No, I
Hey, you
actually
didn't
don't
pick
know
a
what
Cole
that is.
Beasley album?
I did
Cole
not,
Beasley?
unfortunately.
Cole,
Yeah, he's got some
Oh,
rap
Cole
albums.
Beasley dropped this year.
I don't know if he dropped this year.
Bro, you're gonna
Exactly.
drop from the
I haven't
vids
given
and
him a
enter
listen in a
Lex.
while.
Wait, are we actually listening to Dame Dalla? Is that what you're choosing?
Yeah, I sent it in immediately with
Let's go.
2021 albums.
That's my boy.
Here we go. I'll throw it in again.
Dude,
All
Cole Beasley's
right.
got a song with over 1 million listens.
That's pretty
Different
crazy.
on levels the Lord allowed.
All right.
Guys, we're all in this together. Okay.
This is gonna be interesting.
Dude, I'm actually so excited for this.
All
gonna be
right.
sick.
Well, hey, thank you for listening. If you're listening, that has been our group review of "I Became Birds" by Home Is Where. Leave your review in the comments and listen to our album for next week, "Different on Levels the Lord Allowed" by Dame Dalla. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, folks.
I'm hyped for this one.